Hi, my name is Carol. Thank you for joining me here on the Way Shower today. I'm going to be giving some pointers on how you can master your empathy. So empathy is all about feeling. It's, when you walk into a room, if it feels good, or sometimes, me personally, sometimes I can't go to the store because I'm so sensitive that I pick up on everybody's energy at the store. And it can make it a little chaotic for me inside. So the first place you want to start with learning how to deal with your empathy, how to work with it, how to understand it, and how to cultivate your ability to do more with it. Because it is a gift. All humans are empathic. For those who are extremely sensitive or highly empathic, this should help you a lot. And if you're not super sensitive and super empathic, but you would like to be, this will help you as well. Okay, so how to master your empathy. So the first thing you have to do is you have to be able to recognize the feelings and the energy and where it's coming from. So what you want to do is to try and stay aware as much as you can about what you're feeling in your environment, at work, at home, at school, at the grocery store, in the yard. You want to continuously check in with the energy. And the way you do that is you ask yourself, just think it in your head or ask it out loud if you want, what am I feeling? What's the energy like? So then I want to throw something in there real quick. If you're out someplace and you feel, and you're having a great day, you wake up, you take your shower, you get ready for work, you leave the house, you're having a great day, you're in a great mood, and all of a sudden, you're angry. Out of nowhere, you're just angry, you're upset. Ask yourself, first you have to catch it, and then you ask yourself, where did this come from? Is this mine? And your higher self is going to point you in the direction where that energy is coming from. For example, one time in the beginning of me learning how to deal with my empathy, I was driving and I was having a fabulous day, and all of a sudden I was stopped at a stop sign, and all of a sudden I just felt this overwhelming irritation, frustration, bordering on anger coming over me. And I suddenly realized, wait a minute, what happened? I was having a great day. What happened? And then I asked myself, wow, I wonder if this is mine. Where is this coming from? Why am I, all of a sudden, am I angry? And as soon as I wondered that, and I just kind of sat with it and tried to see what would come up in my head, my attention was drawn to the car in front of me. And what I understood in that moment was that the person in front of me was having a bad day, and their energy was flowing backwards out of their car, through the back of their car, into me, in my vehicle. And I thought, really? And how can I be sure? And so I double checked on it again and got the same impression, that it was coming from the person driving the car in front of me. And as soon as I made that realization, it was gone. The anger, the frustration, the irritation was gone, and I was happy again. So that's what you do, is if you feel like you're picking up on somebody else's energy and making you feel bad, ask yourself if it's yours, and ask yourself, where is it coming from? And see where your attention is drawn to, and double check on it. And if it feels appropriate and you acknowledge it, you're going to feel happy right away. You're going to go back to whatever mood you were in before that negative energy came onto you. Likewise, if you're having a bad day and all of a sudden you feel fabulous, you can ask yourself, wow, what just happened? Where did that come from? And wherever your attention is drawn to is more than likely where that energy is coming from. So practice that a couple of times. Just see where the energy is coming from, and see how when you recognize where it's coming from, you can let go of it. It's like it just automatically happens that way. It just automatically happens. So that's one of the things that you need to do first, is you need to recognize whether or not it's yours, and then where it's coming from. And you need to be able to trust your impressions on it. So, and if you're in the beginning, you're going to question it, and that's fine, so double check it. The next step is, once you learn how to recognize energy, what you're feeling. You know, if you go for a walk in the woods, and you want to do this in different situations and circumstances, so that you can see the difference in the energy. And it's something that you have to pay attention to. It's like being in school. If you want to learn how to read, then you need to pick up a book. And it's the same thing with energy. If you want to be able to understand your empathy and work with the energy, because empathy is all about feeling the energy. If you want to be able to do that, then you're going to have to teach yourself how to read energy. So once you learn how to recognize it in all of its various forms, you take a walk in the park by yourself and notice the energy of the trees. Feel the energy of the trees. Feel the energy of the grass. Feel the energy of the birds. And I'm being very serious here. For those of you who are highly empathic and want to learn how to handle your empathy, and for those of you who want to learn how to open up so that you can become more empathic, this is what you want to do, is you want to take time to feel different kinds of energy. So what you want to do here is you're helping yourself, you're teaching yourself to understand what it feels like. So, and when I say what it feels like, I mean the physical sensation of it, the five senses that we use in our everyday life. That's how you want to be able to describe these feelings, this energy that you're picking up on. You're going to translate the energy into feelings, and then you're going to use analogies for those feelings so that you can better understand what that energy is. So if the energy feels soft, what kind of soft does it feel like? Does it feel soft like cotton candy? Does it feel soft like cotton balls? Does it feel soft like a rose petal? Does it feel soft like feathers? So there are all kinds of different soft. And the thing is that as you do that, you will be able to understand the energy that much more, because there are those little nuances in all energy that will help you to pinpoint it. And when you're trying to share that with somebody else, it will help you to describe it to somebody else, and they'll be able to understand what it is that you're saying and where it is you're coming from, what you're picking up on. So once you start learning how to recognize the energy that you're feeling, and whether or not it's yours, where it's coming from, and what it is, then you will start teaching yourself how to read that energy by using analogies and the five senses, smell, touch, sight, sound, etc. And then after that, you need to learn how to clear the energy. So everything is energy. and we attract and give off energy all day long, all the time. So quite naturally, some of it, of that energy, maybe a lot of it, is going to stick to us if we don't cleanse it. It's like if you go into a room that's filled with cigarette smoke, and when you walk out, even though you're not in that room anymore, you're still going to smell like cigarette smoke because it's attached to you. That's the way energy is. So what you want to be able to do is to clear yourself, to cleanse that energy off of you, to get rid of it so that you can be free of the negativity and start fresh all over again. So there are a couple of ways to do that. So first of all, if you know that you're going into a situation that's going to be very uncomfortable or perhaps even negative, what you can do is you can surround yourself with white light and you can say a prayer. And that is a protection. That's to keep you shielded so that not so much of that negative energy can get into you or get at you. The other thing you can do is you can wear black, because black is a good shield. It keeps the energy out. It keeps your energy contained and it keeps everybody else's energy out. So those are some preemptive things that you can do if you know that you're going into a situation that's going to be uncomfortable or negative. So what do you do after, a long day at work or out at the grocery store or party or whatever, and you've picked up negative energy? What you can do quickly, right away, is to say, cleanse and clear, no negativity allowed in here, and surround yourself with white light. Now that doesn't take care of everything, but it will help to dissipate that negative energy in that moment. And then what you want to do when you get home is you want to take a shower, because water washes all that energy out. And then you use the mantra, cleanse and clear, no negativity allowed in here, again, while you're showering. So now the thing about water is water is very cleansing if it's moving water. So a shower works for that. If it's still water, like in a bath, then water is good for helping you to absorb energy. So certainly take a bath and relax and absorb the calm energy of nice music and candlelight and the warmth water, etc. But don't take a bath in order to cleanse negative energy, because that negative energy is going to be in that water and it's not going to go anywhere. So cleansing negative energy requires shower, running water. When I started going through the awakening process, my level of empathy shot out the roof, and it got to the point where I couldn't even touch somebody without picking up on their energy, and then I didn't know how to get rid of it. So I felt like I needed to wear gloves just to be around people so that I could touch them, or so that, and then, Lord forbid that they were going to touch me. So I remember one time my mother asked me for a massage. She used to always tell me I had the best fingers, I gave the best massages. And so she needed a massage. And I thought to myself, how do I explain this to her so she doesn't get mad at me or think that I just don't want to give her a massage? So I simply told her that I was afraid to touch her because I would pick up on her energy and I didn't know how to get rid of it. And I explained to her that that meant if she was mad at somebody, or if her body hurt, her back hurt, or etc., then I would end up being angry, or my back would end up hurting, and I didn't know how to get rid of it. Instead of questioning me, she said, "Oh, I wonder if that's what was wrong with my grandmother." Her grandmother, my great-grandmother, was an unconscious healer in Japan, and similar to kind of Edgar Cayce style, from what I understand, from what my mother has told me. So my video cut off, and then a bunch of cars started going by down the road, so I thought I'd come out in the back here and finish up out here, where it's a little bit more quiet. So to sum up what I was saying about my great-grandmother, was that she was an unconscious healer in Japan, and according to my mother, she would get very ill after working with a client. And my mother didn't, as a young girl, my mother didn't understand it, because she said my great-grandmother was a very strong, healthy woman. But she would always be bedridden and sickly for days or even weeks after having a session with somebody who needed a healing. So that's the reason why she wondered if my great-grandmother had the same thing going on. So that's how empathy works. We pick up on each other's stuff. And that's the way it is with all human beings. It's just that some of us are much more empathic than others. And we can make ourselves sick from somebody else's energy. Literally, we can become ill. If we pick up on somebody else's energy, we don't recognize it and we don't clear it. So that's the reason why clearing is very important. It's important to learn how to do that. I used to have friends that recommended that I just learn how to close myself off so that I didn't pick up on that energy in the first place. But that's not who I am. I don't want to be closed off for any reason. So I learned how to clear it. I learned how to recognize it, and then I learned how to clear it. So that's the reason why I say that learning how to, recognizing it first, and then being able to understand what that energy is, and then learning how to clear it, those are all really important things for everybody to learn how to do, but especially those who are highly empathic. So some of the other notes that I made here is one of the last things I wanted to say was for you to practice working with the energy and reading the energy and recognizing it. So, and do it on a regular basis so that you can get used to it, so that you can become familiar with it. So one of the ways that you can do that is to, when you see at work or at school or family or friends, check in with their energy and see if you can figure out what their energy is. You know, are they happy? Are they sad? Maybe they're happy, but there's an underlying sadness there. So check in with other people's energy. Recognize it. I mean, don't go snooping. And you can feel that too. If somebody doesn't want anybody to know what's going on in their lives, you will feel like there's a cement wall there. At least that's the way it feels to me. It's like a brick wall. It's very strong, it's very sturdy, and I will not try to get past that wall, because unless somebody has asked me to do a reading, then I will let them know, you have this wall up here. Do you want me to go through it? Do you want to let it down so I can see what's going on? But otherwise, you don't do that, because that's it's bad karma. It's just not good to go prying into somebody's life if they don't want anybody to see what's going on. But otherwise, most people are fairly open about it. So check in and see what's going on. And then once you think you have an understanding, you just make a comment to that person or ask them a question just off the cuff, like to find out if what you're picking up on is accurate. So if somebody's happy, and let's just say an example, you pick up on somebody, the energy you pick up on is happy. So you look at it and you try to understand why that happy energy is there. Where is it coming from? What's making them happy? And then you can say something like, so, you must have seen John today. Yeah, I did. Why? I don't know. You just looked really happy, and I just kind of figured it was because you saw John. You know, whatever, something like that. And then that way you don't freak them out that you're reading their energy, and you can clarify for yourself that you're starting to learn how to read the energy. So I guess the last thing that I want to say is that when you learn how to recognize the energies that you're feeling and how to interpret those energies, and you learn how to cleanse and clear the negative energies from you, and especially if you're going to try and do readings, then you definitely want to learn how to cleanse and clear. Prayer and white light, inviting in divine truth, etc. All you have to do, if you want a whole list of it, I'm sure if you Googled it or looked it up on YouTube, somebody's got a whole list of all the things that you can do to cleanse and clear the energies after a reading. And it should be done before a reading as well, to make sure that you give an accurate reading and it's not tainted with anybody else's energy. So the last thing that I want to share is that once you've learned all of that, you will be able to project your energy, and you will be able to help other people to have a really good day and to be happy. The other thing that you do need to be aware of, and it goes with projecting your energy, is that as an empath, not only do you pick up on that energy real easily, but you project it very easily as well. And so you have to be careful that you don't project your negative energy onto other people. So anyhow, I hope that helps. I hope that you understand your empathic abilities a little bit better, and that I've given you enough to work with in order to hone your empathic abilities and to learn how to read energy. And you're going to be on your way to some really fun, fabulous times. There's still going to be those moments where you're probably get overwhelmed when you go to the store. I mean, I have my days where I don't leave the house because I'm just that sensitive and that worn down. But that's okay. We all need to learn how to honor ourselves and to listen to that little voice that says, stay home and take it easy. So, love and blessings. I hope you all have a wonderful week.